Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to talk for loop. So here we go. So I'm in my folders. We're going to make a new folder, video for loops, right? I'm going to go in there. I'm going to open it. I'm going to make my new notebook. What I'm going to do to make my life easier, I'm just going to go back to video 3.1. I'm going to open that notebook. And I'm going to copy it. So you can copy Markdown. Do this, copy, put it in, choose Markdown, Shift Enter, run it. And to enter the libraries, I can just copy them, put the libraries in, and run it. And see that filled up here when it was running, and then it went clear. Now I can rename this, close, rename, and just think video for loops. .ip, hit rename. If I go back to my video 4 folder, right there it is. We're ready to do it. And I'm going to show you a couple tricks if you want to make your Markdown look nicer. If you want to do italics, you do star, italic, close, and that's going to make it come out in italic, right? So you can make that, make that bigger with the, right? So now it's big, it's the heading 1. I'll make this heading 3, right? You can do italics, 2 stars are bold, and then 2 tildes are strike through. Right? So italic, bold, strike. Just something if you want to make a little bit more interesting. Now let's start making a for loop. So I'm going to make my list. Remember, you can call these anything your names. Call it my list 1, 2, 5. Right? We've seen this before. Puts Shift Enter puts it in memory. Now we can do a for loop. What we're going to do with a for loop is to go through each of these items one by one. So usually people do for I, because that's the vector. You do for I in my list. You can hit tab to fill in, do the colon, then you can print I. And if I run this, Shift Enter, like it goes through them one by one. So it says for each item in my list, go through it and then print it. So I'm going to print 1, print 2, print 5, 10. Right, so you could change something on my list. Remember, so you could take my list of 2 equals, it could be anything, right? Because we're not just in numbers. So remember, it says 0, 1, 2. So that should make the 5 into that word. Now when we run this again, there it is. So that's your first for loop, right? But you can also do it with number arrays. So right, say you make a num array, right? And you make this an numpy array, numpy.array, parentheses, brackets. It's 1, 5.314 minus 100, close, puts it into memory. You ran it, Shift Enter, and then you can do for j in num array, right? Print j, right? And it does it one by one, right? And now you could go back and you could change something. So you could say num array, and hit tab enter. I'm gonna say the first item, so the number 1 item, I'm going to make that equal to minus 22.1, right? And now we should change it. There it goes. So that's a nice way of doing it. Right, the other thing you could do is you could then, the same thing, you could add a sum to this. Say you want to sum up all those numbers. You could say sum equals 0. And then in here you could say sum plus equals, and this I'll show you, this is sort of a j, and then once you're done, to get out of the for loop, you go out and you hit delete and you unindent, right? So you can see these are, the colon says you're in a for loop, you indent, everything is dented, isn't a for loop, and now we could print sum right at the end. And so you actually don't need this print j in there, so I'm going to comment it out, and so you just get the sum, right? That's really nice. And so now I'm going to show you some more tricks, so you can see how you might use this in reality. So say you want to do something like this. We could do np.arange, right, in our for loop. So for k in np.arange, we could just do 10 items, print k. Right, and there it goes. But I'm going to clean this up. Let's do, for a range, remember it takes a start. So I'm going to start at equals 1. I'm going to stop it at 23. Then I'm going to skip equals 1. And now I can make this for loop. But remember, for loop, you make up these names, right? And so we could call these anything we want. So you make up a name for junk in np.arange. And then you can do start, comma, stop, comma, skip. Do your colon. This way when you hit return, see it's indented. Now we're going to print junk. Right? And see how it did it? It went from 1 and it stopped 1 before. Look, now we could go change the skip, so it does it every 5, right? 1, 6, right? You can make it do every 2. You could change the stop, right? You can see it's a nice way of doing this. Let's put this back 23 and 2. So you can see start, stop, skip. You can call it what you want. As long as you're indented, it will keep doing it. And I'm going to show you something, a new type of things where we can keep count as we go. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to copy this so you can see it. But now when I type this, watch what I do. I'm going to do for count, comma, junk in, and I'm going to do this function called enumerate. Enumerate. And what this is going to do is it's going to give us both a count for what item it is and what the value is. So we could do np.arange again of our start, stop, comma, skip. Look, now we have to close both parentheses, do our colon, and I'm going to now print count, comma, junk. So see what's going to happen. See, look, and now it shows you. So the 0 item is 1, then the number 1 item is 3 because skipping by 2 to 21. So what we can actually do is we can even make this print nicer. So we could do, right, the item, remember how to do this, is you can do this dot format count, and then we're going to need a second close parenthesis. So we're going to say it's going to do this. So we're going to say the 0 item is 1. So let's see if this works, right? Look how much nice. The 0 item is 1. 1 item is 3. Exactly. So if we said skip by 6, look, it does it for us. So hopefully there's a good intro to for loops. We're going to do a lot more in class, and we'll see you then.